Welcome to Hump Day. F10 M5 today got a brake fluid flush. The CBS data, condition-based service data, was complaining about that. Didn't really drive the car for a while, so we didn't notice it in November when it came up, but more recently we had. So that's done. Standard .4, same fluid we've been using in the E39 and E60 M5s. The front calipers have two bleed screws, one on the inside, one on the outside, and that's because it's got pistons on both sides. So that's done. Reset the data, scan for codes, nothing significant. Another code or another service that's due. Notice today's a oil change, and it feels like we just did it, though I looked up the data in the spreadsheet and it says December 23rd, 2021. It has actually been a year. It feels more like about 6 months at most. So that's the next thing. I got the filter here. It's a Hengst. And the BMW 0W30 twin power turbo oil seems to be NLA, but I found some older stock, not old stock, but not brand new stock either, in the Los Angeles area. So that's on its way down. We'll get to that later this week or sometime next week. Not a big hurry. It's only been 1,220 miles since the last oil change a year ago. Lots of time on Black Betty today. So we did a courtesy MPI on this, and this was my mistake. When his other three cars have come in here, the very first thing we did was a multi-point inspection, and that forced us to go through the entire car and completely identify and document anything and everything not right with it. And after 3 of those jobs, and then for these 2 cars, Black Betty and the Toledo Blue, I asked him if he wanted to start with the MPI, and he said, no, we've already done 3 of these. Let's just kind of do the same thing. I was like, okay. Well, the thing is, all cars are different. So anyways, today, quick MPI, went through the whole thing, came up with about 6 recommended services that really should be done before the car drives to Florida, including tires, front tie rods, front straight control, or front curved control arms. The inner bushings are shot. Maybe a cooling refresh, fan and fan clutch, and did I say power steering lines? Nothing crazy. I mean, it could make it like this, but I just feel better about it after doing that. So send that off to him tomorrow, see how he wants to proceed. Then we started some cleanup and worked on the inside today. We found a bunch of missing fasteners and wire management, cable ties and such. But this car's been sitting here so long, and it was not at all clean when we got it. The 3 of us spent about 90 minutes today just vacuuming, wiping everything down, cleaning glass, purely focused on the inside. The outside's still a wreck. We'll get to that. But the inside cleaned up really well. And if you took extra time with carpet cleaners and leather conditioners and things like that, you'd really have about a 8.5 out of 10 car here. Those cracks and that finisher suck. Really, it needs a whole trim set. But inside's clean, and just a bunch of little things like that. We'd forgotten to put the battery bracket back on top of the battery after replacing that, so that's in. But we're coming along on that. For the 2000 Carbon Black that we're doing the headliner on, I was able to source a set of 2000 model year Alcantara C-pillars. Seems to be about the last set available in usable condition anywhere. I don't care about the Alcantara color or quality since we're going to rewrap it, but I do need a good plastic backing since they do need to be installed. So those are on their way. They should be here right after the holiday, and then we'll get everything down and proceed with that. On the 525, I got the estimate for the transmission, sent that to the customer. He approved it. And then wants to talk about other things that we should be doing while it's here. And we've got busted tie rod bellows. He needs all 4 front control arms. He needs tie rods. He needs motor mounts, trans mounts, power steering lines, rear guide links, a drive shaft rebuild inclusive of flex discs, center support bearing, and constant velocity joint. He says he bought the jacks. They're all missing, the jack pads. So he's looking for those. We'll just pop those in free of charge, assuming he proceeds with some other work. But he's already done struts and springs, and these 525s don't really go through diff mounts like a M5 would. There's just not enough power being put through them. Obviously they'll dry out eventually, but they're okay for now. So we're a little bit over what he said his budget was if he approves everything. So we'll see and get moving on this soon. Watched a Laker game, had some leftover mac and cheese from the other night. Did a whole bunch of work in spreadsheets, updating the major spreadsheets that we keep on the cars for maintenance. Ended up doing some spell check and fixed some broken formulas, and I haven't really had time to go in there and do much in a long time. So now they're all up to date. I added sections for 2022, updated mileages and yearly averages and things like that. So tomorrow we got a busy day at the shop. We got a 2000 540 coming in, Frank's car, jet black valley pan gasket on the M62. So that'll be a learning experience for all of us. None of us have done that. I just watched a couple of videos, looked at new tests. Doesn't look too difficult at all. Just a whole lot of stuff to remove to access it. Certainly not as invasive as timing chains and guides. That's about all I got. I got to get some rest here. It's about 11:30. We'll talk tomorrow on Thursday already. Flying by. Night.